Mhm. We're live, I guess. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Get started in a minute. Just gonna get all my cues and scripts in a row here. Hope you all doing good on this Tuesday evening. If you're here, say hi in the chat. I know Ambito's here. But welcome, Cosmos DeFi here. This is my live stream, my weekly live stream. And I'm going to talk about the news over the last week, mainly the last couple days. We'll do, as we always do, a deep dive. And we're going to talk about some trends that we should be following just to make sure we stay on top of this market, right? We talk about Bitcoin, AI, Ethereum, layer 2s, airdrops, NFTs, all that stuff, markets. And the goal is just to keep our bags covered, make sure we can maneuver, make sure we optimize our opportunities here. What's up, Ambito? But welcome back, welcome back. We had a lot of people last time. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, come join us on the tube. Get to talk in the chat. I get to interact and let you guys distract me from my work here. But yeah, we're going to go through the news. Our headline is about Bitcoin runes as a new token standard. Will it disrupt inscriptions, BRC20s? Is it better? We'll get into that. Other news, Bitcoin all-time highs, over 70K. Solana meme tokens are the whole crypto economy right now outside of Bitcoin, it seems. We're going to talk about a new foundation that was put together related to Bitcoin and some reflections on Osmo. I talk about osmosis all the time. But yeah, not financial advice. My sources are not vetted. I just pick what I like and I follow it as best I can. I'll show you my portfolio every now and again, the moves that I'm making just to stay transparent, but not everyone has the same risk tolerance. I don't recommend you do what I do. I've been taking some uncharacteristic risks lately, but that's okay because I'm accepting those risks. Are you? I don't know. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. If you're joining me for the second time, I'm actually shocked that you came back. Looks like we got a lot of people on Twitter. They can't interact in the chat. That's okay. That's okay. I want to take a minute, shout out my sponsor, Shade Protocol. It's a front-running resistance DEX, a whole suite of DeFi apps built on the principle of privacy. They've got the Silk stablecoin, which is it's pegged to a basket of currencies. It's actually doing really well relative to the market. It's up like 14% in the last year, stablecoin, but it's not based on the US dollar. I'm in the US. Also want to shout out Kinetics. It's a perps platform with an airdrop coming soon, and that's kinetics.finance. I took some leverage last week and got liquidated. Taking some stupid risks. That's okay. I'm learning how to use this leverage thing. I set my leverage a little too high. It's all right. You live, you learn. I opened another leverage position. I'll show you when we get into it. But yeah, strap in, man. Like I said, we'll keep the bags covered. We'll make sure that you know what's going on. Some important themes that I think will, have widespread effects either right now or throughout the year, throughout the bull run. I always like to start with the movers, the best performing tokens. So let's do that. Let's get into the movers and the losers. That's not what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, some fun token stuff here. Let's see. I can't get this. There we go. This is just CoinGecko rankings. I rank it by 7 days. Looks like Floki, which is an ERC20 token, has done quite well. It's up like 700% in the last 60 days. Don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's a metaverse token or some kind of AI related token, but it's listed in the same group as Render and Decentraland. So don't know. Maybe someone in the chat that's smarter than me can tell me, why is this flying? I know why Rune is flying. Rune is one of my heavy hitters in my portfolio. It's a Thor chain, and it basically doubled in the last week. I bought both dips on Rune. I bought it when it went a little bit below 4. I picked it up around like 420 or something like that, 410. Then it went back up temporarily. Then it dipped back down slightly below 5. I picked it up again at 501, so my bags are packed. They implemented lending, so the Rune token is in demand. Then there's this Ribbon Finance token. I looked to see why it was up 100% this week, and there's some kind of token migration going on. I don't know if people are buying it to take advantage of that. And then there's Near, number 4. So those are your top 4. And I'm not counting anything outside the top 100, but AMP went on an absolute tear. I think it was the best performer overall, and I used to own the AMP token. That's all I'm going to say about that. Losers, Shiba Inu, no good. Bonk, no good. Tron's the number 2 DeFi ecosystem. Did you know that? And Optimism, well, but still not that bad. If your worst performing token is only down 10%, it's not bad. It's shocking that it's Shiba Inu when we're having like a meme coin renaissance these days. But yeah, those are your winners. Those are your losers. Some content that I put out recently, there was this tweet about Osmosis, but a big long tweet about Osmosis about really the real reason why it pumped in the last cycle. The DEX is great. It's great. But the token, I think, was, I think the incentives were abused. I think a supply squeeze was set up that can't be replicated unless they launch some application on the platform that either burns a whole bunch of tokens or locks up a whole bunch of tokens. But the Osmo community doesn't like me talking about Osmo. It's okay. I took it out of my portfolio. I think I sold it like starting at like 80 cents down to 50 cents, held it in stable coins for a while, and I moved into Jackal. I never looked back. Never looked back. My Juno tokens, my Stars tokens, I sold those. Those are the 3 that I think got pummeled by inflation. I don't think they're going to return to all-time highs no matter how good the platforms are. Ambito's asking about Kinetics liquidity. Yeah, I've had trouble. So I used version 1. And when I got liquidated, I was in version 1. I was actually longing wrapped Bitcoin. So I don't know if that's something you want to do. Taking leverage out on a derivative. I did it. It was last Tuesday. Bitcoin was up for the day and I got liquidated on a long anyway. But yeah, Osmo community, they love their bags, especially the vocal ones on Twitter. They shouldn't care about the token that much. If they love the platform, just love the platform. It doesn't mean you have to buy the token. That was my point here. But yeah, this is like my most interacted tweet ever. A bunch of people bookmarked it probably because they want to wait 6 months. And when Osmo pumps, they'll go back and they'll say, oh, you're an idiot. Meanwhile, if Osmo pumps, that means everything in Cosmos is pumping. So I'm sure I'll be okay. I'm not going to miss my Osmo. I farmed it to hell. And I moved into other tokens, and I don't know. I went off basically my airdrop. So it's Osmo community. And I was just replying to this guy. What's the best way to achieve a pump? I don't know. Make the tokens better. DeFi tokens are just, they're not great. They're not great. But that's my Twitter content that I'm very proud of the last week. And I got a video coming out about this doggy.market, another video. These little NFTs here, floor price it was like 900 when I made the video a couple days ago. Now it's 700. But yeah, inscriptions on Doge, look for that video. And I just cut an interview with one of the contributors to Asteroid Protocol. That's on Cosmos. That's the Cosmos Hub inscription protocol. And yeah, we talked about the benefits and the limitations of inscriptions on Cosmos. That video and the Doge video, I'm determined to get out maybe Thursday, Friday, or like Thursday, Sunday, something like that. I'll probably release the Doge one first. Inscriptions are very interesting. That's what our feature story is tonight. Our deep dive. Our deep dive. Someone's saying XRP just entered the Cosmos through Corium. I would say who cares? I don't really know that much about the synergies between XRP and Cosmos. Cosmos people are not going to play with XRP. I don't think Ripple people are going to play in Cosmos, but I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know who that's good for unless people want to exit Ripple in Cosmos. Ripple's a lot of liquidity. It's a lot. Glitch Candies is here. What's up, guys? What's up? We got almost 100 people. Let me keep moving. Let's keep it moving for these 100 people. We got a lot of people here. I gotta move it along. What's next? Okay, so my portfolio moves. This is gonna get serious. We're gonna take the music off here. So we'll go into some of my moves lately. I made a video for Nolus. I'll release that at some point also. So I got 3 videos coming out besides this one. And Nolus, got to reload here. All right. So I took leverage not on Kinetics this time, but on Nolus. I think the stars chart looked really good. I had some Atom that was unstaked, and I really like Nolus. It's just an easy way to take leverage without being a degen if you're long tokens. And that's basically what it looks like. This red little box here is my profit loss indicator. I'm down $3. The interest is like 1%. I'm okay with that. And this is only the second time I've used Nolus for this purpose. I actually stake my Nolus tokens, and I've played with the platform, but this I thought was a good long using Atom collateral to long stars. And because it's so hard to get liquidated, on Nolus, they do partial liquidations, which is awesome. I don't get my first partial liquidation until stars goes to like 2 3/4 cents. And I put it in the video. I can add collateral to my position. I can close it anytime. And this works with the underlying stablecoin liquidity. That's why you can get yield on stablecoins on this platform because it's in demand. Let me show you. So this is Axelar USDC on the Neutron chain, Axelar USDC on the Osmo chain, and you get about 13% on both. It's not bad. Personally, I don't have any stable coins. I am like fully invested and I don't care. I don't care how risky it is. I've been waiting for 2 years to take on risk. You might not want to be as risky as me. And Nolus, you get about 11% staking. It's not bad, right? I'm just staking my Nolus. I was talking to Ambito about Nolus yesterday because he follows a lot of these obscure blockchains much deeper than I do. Even though I'd like to be everywhere, I can't. He's got a good beat on blockchains like Carbon, on Nolus, a bunch of others. And I think for me, the best play is to, I'll take some strategic longs, try my luck in trading. I'm not a trader, but, like I said, I'd like to take on risk. But with Nolus, I have some tokens. I'm just going to straight stake them. I might stake them for 2 years. I don't know. I don't know if this, I could see Nolus being a late runner in this market. They do have vested tokens. They're kind of a new project. They're not even a year old, the token. Some vesting schedules start to become unfavorable for massive price pumps, but it's to be expected. These teams held their tokens for 9 months and they get to sell on a linear schedule. And it might blunt, if they're obviously they don't have to sell, but if they're selling, it might blunt like a massive pump. But I could see it late in altcoin season, like a token like Nolus going on a run. Carbon's token, Dimex Exchange. What's the token? Swift. I could see it. But anyway, long story short, Nolus, I don't feel like a degen when I use Nolus, but I get a little leverage. I get a little leverage with my Atom. That's all. Let's go to markets here. Let's go to markets. I'll get you guys through the markets. Markets are boring, right? Markets are boring. But anyway, CPI report came out. Somehow we've conflated the word inflation with CPI. I don't think it's the same thing, but inflation rose slightly more than expected. So the inflation rose, it's like 3 point something percent. Yeah, it says 3.2% year over year last month. This is for February. And that's faster than the 3.1% in January. I mean, we know that these numbers are cherry picked. Does 0.1% really matter? I don't know. Seems like some months the inflation is like 10%, but they just always report a number that's like between 2.5 and 3.5, and they make you freak out over a tenth of a point. I don't know if it matters, but inflation, CPI, a little bit higher than they want. Maybe this is going to be the excuse not to lower interest rates for a while. Maybe they won't lower interest rates really at all. I don't know. I don't like predicting these things because the interest rates are pretty low by historical standards. So, and I don't know if they can lower them much more. Maybe they'll do one before the election, right? I don't know. But that CPI report, a little hot. But stock market news. S&P, NASDAQ, they snapped 2-day losing streaks, even though they dropped this inflation news today, and oil's going down. All right, so oil's not going up, right? But the S&P had a record close. So stock market's fine somehow. Bitcoin's doing great. So that's the market. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not paying that much attention to the market. I have my positions. I keep them in an IRA. I don't have a brokerage account. I don't like screwing with stocks on the brokerage account because then I got to account for taxes. I am mostly fixated on crypto. That's just what I do. I've been waiting 2 years for this market that we have right now. So I understand they're correlated. I like to keep an eye on it a little bit because of the adoption taking place. And here's some good news. It says Bitcoin jumps over 71K. Oh, yes, it did. Right? It didn't take long once hitting resistance to hit that all-time high. And now it's saying UK's FCA lets institutional investors create crypto ETNs. So kind of like ETFs, right? They removed objections to crypto-based ETNs, opening the gates for more institutional investment in crypto. It looks like the United States is like just Bitcoin, but this article is not specifying if it's only Bitcoin or there's going to be some altcoin funds. I don't know. But I guess despite the Bitcoin halving next month, these institutional flows, they might not slow down much, even though it looks like some of the there's like 9 ETFs in America. They've been loading up since January. It looks like it might not slow down, which is good. It will keep Bitcoin supply low. But yeah, that's Europe. Now Europe is in the game. And this is interesting. Last cycle, people were speculating, oh, when's Bitcoin gonna flip silver? It just did. And now I'm sure if it doesn't happen this cycle, the narrative for next cycle is Bitcoin going to flip gold? We'll see. I don't know how significant it is. I don't consider them similar. I don't consider metals and cryptos all that similar. I don't. I'll catch some heat for it maybe in the chat, but it's a symbolic like conquest, right? Symbolic conquest. All right, this is what I wanted to really talk about. So you guys know I follow lots of developments on Bitcoin. I follow lots of developments. Let's get proper captions here. And the creator of the BRC20 token, these are the fungible tokens on Bitcoin. His name is Domo. He helped found this organization that's going to try to be very neutral, and they're going to kind of be like a governance structure for how these BRC20s are handled, how they're standardized, the indexing, which I guess is a big issue. I don't need that. I'm not talking to anybody. And it looks like this governance structure is going to be very desirable. I was listening to a Twitter space and they say, look, we're as neutral as we can be. We're a nonprofit and all that. And they want fair governance structures for these index-based protocols because they do affect the miners, they affect the nodes and all that, I guess. And it's very difficult to account for these on the blockchain. But this is big news. I went to their website. If you want to stay on top of, Amanda's here. Amanda's going to come on Spaces next week, I hope, on NFT Happy Hour, talk about some IRL events that she plans and hosts. But if you want to go to this Layer 1 Foundation website, there's a forum there, and you could see the discussions starting about all the different token standards on Bitcoin and just, I guess, how they're going to be adopted in like a fair way. It's Layer 1 Foundation. I don't want to say too much about it because we got quite a bit of Bitcoin stuff coming up. All right. This is Swiss is not going to be with me again this week to talk about VC inflows, but just know that Layer 2 solutions are continuing to attract VCs, but also airdrop farming. And you can see this one's called Tableland, raised $10 million, and Coinbase is involved, which I think is significant. And there's a token called FT. This tweet is showing you how to farm the airdrop. And if you scroll a little further down, this is Ethereum Daily. This is a good account to follow to stay, on top of anything Ethereum. This embedded tweet here, they talk about more airdrops in the ZK Sync ecosystem. Do these different actions with these different applications. This is showing you how much it actually costs in gas, I guess. And it's for potential airdrops on Ethereum. Don't know if anyone's actually done these yet, but I haven't. Maybe I'll get to it. I'm swamped. I don't have time to farm airdrops. Unfortunately, my last airdrop was the Dimension, which was a nice one, like $2,500. Let's get my camera right here. No, not going to cooperate. That's okay. But yeah, just Ethereum Daily is a good account to follow for that. And here's a Bitcoin one, Merlin Chain. It says native Bitcoin Layer 2. This is interesting, not because of airdrops necessarily, but as I scroll down, you'll see who's involved. Here we go. So here are the investors. You got KuCoin. Okay, that's not a shock. But where is it? Polygon is involved. Was it up here? Yeah, Polygon's involved. And we know Polygon is, it's kind of just a multi-sig, right? And a lot of Bitcoiners do not like the layer 2s. That's why they want to force this development of the ordinals protocol so that any DeFi, when it does develop, is on the layer 1. So a lot of Bitcoiners, they do not like the idea of these layer 2s. Like they're going to be wrapped assets. Wrapped assets are fake. Stay away from wrapped assets. That's going to be the stance of many people. Even those that like the idea of fungible tokens and NFTs on Bitcoin. But yeah, Polygon's involved in this Merlin chain. Don't know how involved, but they're at the top of the page. So this is something to watch. It's a bridge. So last cycle, tons of Ethereum bridges got hacked. There were so many exploits, right? Maybe in this cycle, maybe there are going to be some concerns about Bitcoin bridges and their security, their safety, their long-term viability. That's going to be a trend. I think that just I wouldn't go too crazy because there's not that much activity going on. But if you click on the bridge here, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can't see it, but it's got $3 billion already locked up by the bridge. Like, I don't know if this is accurate, but this is their website. So these are the assets that they support. And like 2.5 billion in Bitcoin, people are already jamming across this bridge. They're accepting BRC20 tokens, inscriptions. So a lot of value already being trusted by these Bitcoin layer twos. All right. And one of my favorite topics is DPIN. DPIN, I deliberately wanted a lot of exposure to DPIN in my portfolio, and I got that exposure through my favorite token, Jackal. JKL is the ticker. They are decentralized storage protocol. It's a proof of stake blockchain and very cheap, very fast. You could recall the data extremely fast compared to Web2 solutions. But these DPIN projects, they talk about projects to watch, and it says decentralized physical infrastructure networks experience rapid growth, 650 new projects. Right? It's kind of like a fusion of blockchain with centralized Web 2 traditional companies. Right? Now, when I scroll down, you'll see what I'm talking about. So 650 new projects in DPIN, from Wi-Fi and transportation to data storage and energy. DPIN sets the stage for blockchain's transparency, efficiency, and security to extend to the real world. And this is kind of like a testament to how flexible blockchain technology is, starting with Bitcoin, which is kind of just like in the beginning was just like, hey, you could pay this token to somebody else directly with no bank. Now we have this is like where the rubber meets the road here. And this is a trend that we've been watching if you watch the stream. And it says it's worth noting that this sector is currently controlled by three of the world's largest tech firms: Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Yes, it's naive to think that they're not going to fight back or just start adopting the blockchain technology, just like the Web 2 folks are using. And, as I go further down, I'm hoping that they mention Jackal. No, they don't. They talk about Filecoin. They talk about Helium, right? So, Helium is another DePIN product on Solana, right? Yeah, HNT token, right? And it's like a decentralized mobile service type project. But here, DPIN sector map. It's great to keep these infographics. I mean, I'll save it right now. I'll save it right now on my computer. And it's just good to have these things to refer to. Maybe you got some extra cash, you want to do some research. This hones your research down to one sector quite nicely. If you're on LinkedIn, you follow the right accounts, people share stuff like this all the time. Different sectors. It was like a lending one, a DEX one, an Ethereum one with different sectors in Ethereum. These are great infographics to keep in your back pocket. And finally, here's a fun one. So, I want to talk about these trends. These trends are important because you can't just have the attention span of like a squirrel. You got to look short term and long term at the same time. Every single stream, we get into some possible long term trends, and politicians warming up to crypto is definitely one of those trends to watch. Now, it might only be because it's election season and these politicians need new audiences to pander to. There's a lot of money out there for not only Bitcoiners, but altcoiners as well, who might want to donate to candidates who are talking positively about Bitcoin, right? It might sway your vote, right? If you're in crypto, you're probably extremely passionate about, you know, changing traditional finance. You might be a single issue voter in this case for this election for your candidate if you're American. But yeah, Trump, it says more constructive on Bitcoin. 3 years ago, he labeled it as a scam. I mean, I think these politicians probably don't know that much about it. Why would they? They get kind of fed a script, and every 2, 3 years the script changes. We know. So I don't know if Donald Trump is like this. Oh, he's a Bitcoiner now. I don't know. He had 4 years in the White House to become a Bitcoiner, but I would keep track of politicians cozying up to Bitcoin and what that means for their races, right? Who they're running against. I would imagine that there won't be too many races in the United States where both sides love Bitcoin equally. There's always going to be one candidate, most likely, who's against it. No, Bitcoin is bad. Crypto is bad. We have terrorists and all this stuff using Bitcoin. North Korea is building nuclear weapons with Bitcoin. Then you'll have the other candidate who's like, it's not so bad. It gives people options. It's fast. It can complement the US dollar, all that nonsense. So we'll watch this quite a bit, I would imagine, from now until November or maybe December, because, it takes like a month for the votes to get counted in America anyway. All right. So that's the news. That's the news. A lot of news. A lot of news. Let's get the music back on. I like the hip hop one. Yeah, I like the hip hop one. Something called runes developing on Bitcoin and how they're going to disrupt. Are they going to disrupt? Originally, I was going to put the headline as, do runes make BRC20 tokens obsolete? Well, if you've been minting a whole bunch of inscriptions and BRC20 tokens and all that, you certainly hope not. Oh, Ambito's asking, you hold any Trump NFTs? I do not. There's actually like a really cool, I don't know if it's like exactly like Trump, but it's definitely like a little PFP style inscription that looked like it was definitely inspired by Trump, like red hat, suit, and all that. It actually was like a pixel collection. It was really cool. I was gonna inscribe it and then I just didn't. There's like too many things to like love something, I guess, in inscriptions, but I don't have any now. It's only a matter of time before Orange Man likes Orange Coin. Yeah, maybe like it might be his way to pander to that, the conspiracy theory, like the government's trying to control us with money. People that ordinarily would never vote for him. Like I said, crypto, if you're in crypto, you might be a single issue voter. That you like, which are like the worst kinds of voters. Like you're the worst kinds of voters. I live in New York and we just had like a fierce local election for a politician who was ousted for like some apparent corruption. And there were commercials on between every YouTube video that I watched for like 4 months. They were coming to the door, dropping pamphlets, and they made the entire election about abortion. Everything was about abortion. Oh, I'm pro-life. This one's killing babies. And then the other kind's like, this one hates women. That's why she's pro-life. It was like one of those things. Crypto's going to be there's going to be a lot of single issue voters in crypto, I think. I'm not putting that on the screen. YouTube has rules. There's like 2 things I can't put on the screen, and that's one of them. Don't get mad. But yeah, Bitcoin to me is the most interesting thing. The Bitcoin developers are running back everything that was built on Ethereum in like a quarter of the time, if that. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to basically go through all of the different token types that exist on Bitcoin right now. It's not just Bitcoin, and it's not just BRC20 tokens. But yeah, I can't put that on the screen. I hope you understand. All right, so let's get rid of this. What do you guys think of the new camera angle? You could like see the whole microphone. It's kind of crappy, right? I might go back to the old way. The old way is kind of like this, but higher up. I noticed I haven't done any stories about like Polygon in a while, Polkadot. I got to get into those maybe for next time. But everything to me right now, maybe it's my Twitter feed, maybe I'm extremely biased, which is very possible, extremely possible. But to me, Bitcoin is the most fun. And by the way, at the end of this, we'll get into meme coins. Hopefully I don't run too long and you guys stick with me. But I want to talk about meme coins on Solana. I got some charts here, and it's a phenomenon. That's another trend that we should be watching besides DPIN, besides this investment in Bitcoin bridges, which just sounds funny if you're a Bitcoiner. And of course, these politicians warming up to crypto conveniently in an election year when they need money, send me money, right? No problem, dude. No problem. All right. Yeah. We'll go to the meme coins last, I think. I bought a Stream Deck where I could do all these things in an automated way. I bought this thing, right? You program it, and one button switches to your different layouts and all that, especially if you use OBS. I didn't even take it out of the box yet, and now I'm having trouble sharing a window. And there we go. There we go. Man, I got to do something about this overlay. I thought this overlay was good, but it always covers up the person who tweeted. This person is Leonidas NFT. And let me get this on a screen. It's our deep dive for today. This is a tweet from Leonidas NFT. He hosts the Ordinals Show. It's just like a comprehensive Twitter space about all things developing on Bitcoin since the Ordinals protocol went live in, I want to say, January of last year. And I can't get his. There we go. Okay. Leonidas NFT. This is an account you should follow if you're interested at all in what's going on with Bitcoin tokens. I listened to almost the whole thing. It was great. Had a panel. They were talking about the pros and cons of BRC20 tokens, which are the fungible tokens. They're a little bit different than inscriptions. They're the fungible tokens on Bitcoin. So let's rewind. So Ordinals protocol, this was the protocol that allowed for different tokens on Bitcoin. The developer's name was Casey Rodamore, and this allowed for NFTs on Bitcoin. People started inscribing things on Bitcoin. And these inscriptions, they basically identify specific Satoshis with some kind of data, and then they assign it a number. So inscriptions are numbered 1 through whatever we're up to now, like 100 million, however many inscriptions there are. So this Satoshi gets a unique identifier. Could be a picture, could be a text file, could be code, right? It doesn't matter. It's data. And this kind of functionality, just like NFTs, right? It could be used for tickets, trading cards, whatever. But the point is, no two inscriptions are actually the same. So that's the Ordinals protocol, inscriptions, right? It's all like the monkey pictures and stuff, the frog pictures in Bitcoin's case. And that gave way to something called recursive inscriptions, where an inscription can actually request data from another. And this saved on transaction fees for these large format like 10K mints on Bitcoin that was driving the fees up. Instead of minting the whole collection 10K, you mint the traits first. So you'll have less traits than inscriptions. And then when you inscribe the collection, you're just, I guess you're requesting data from the traits in certain combinations. It's supposed to be much more efficient, and it's a workaround of the 4 megabyte limit of inscriptions. Just more efficient data storage. These recursive inscriptions, from what I understand, they allow you to keep a repository of code on chain that other people can access with their own inscriptions. And then, of course, there were some inscriptions that were rare, right? They called them rare sats. If you inscribed a Satoshi that was from like a famous or an infamous block in Bitcoin's history, you got some uniqueness out of it. Like if you were, let's say you minted a Satoshi that was mined by Satoshi, 14 years ago. That holds some type of historical value in the community's eyes. They call them rare sats. So that's the background on the Ordinals protocol from someone who's not a tech person. And this is Atomicals. I don't want to get to this yet. Ooh. Let's quickly go to BRC20s. BRC20s were developed by the same person who set up that layer 1 foundation we talked about earlier. Domo, his name is. This is March. So about 2 months after Ordinals protocol, you get BRC20s. These are the fungible tokens now. They're not the NFTs. They're the fungible tokens. And they're kind of primitive compared to fungible tokens we're used to in proof of stake land, these DeFi tokens and whatnot. Fungible just means they're interchangeable like dollar bills. They were primitive, but they were super successful. Some of them reaching, 9-figure, even billion-dollar market caps. And like I said, they're going to have an oversight organization called the Layer 1 Foundation, Governance, Standards, Indexing, which seem to be a challenge. These are account-based, where balances get updated, kind of like proof of stake. And they have some DeFi potential. They do. I know someone in the chat's going to say, oh, you're stupid. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts. Okay. But the fact that BRC20s are programmable, they might eliminate the need for layer 2s. There's going to be layer 2s, it looks like, whether we like it or not, but it's going to eliminate the reliance on bridging to layer 2s if we can build some tooling, I guess, around it, applications and all that. From BRC20, there were a bunch of other token standards, right? I counted 5. BRC100, which had some interoperability features. I'll have to bring you more on that another time. Something called BRC233s. These are smart contract tokens. I don't know of any smart contracts that exist yet, but you're going to tell me that I'm stupid. There are no smart contracts on Bitcoin. Okay. And then another standard, BRC333. These are, utility, I guess, art, collectibles, stuff like that. And this information I pulled from the Layer 1 Foundation forum, which has some information there if you want to go check it out yourself. And then I want to go back to that Atomicals. So there was an Atomicals protocol, a response to BRC20s. And the Atomicals protocol, slightly different, less clunky than BRC20s. It's like a different mode of thinking. And yeah, you could do peer-to-peer exchange, atomic swaps. They had like something called Realms. This is like their ENS, right? The name service. And it looks like these Atomicals can be used for other things here. It says web hosting, file storage, social media profiles, posts, and all that. And look, I haven't seen much of this put into practice, but these are set up for applications to take advantage of this. Maybe they already are, and I just haven't found them yet. But these are, they're under development. This is a really helpful resource here. And BRC 420s, is that what these are? I might have the wrong tweet here. But BVM network, it's a layer 2 Bitcoin virtual machine, and it's modularity based. I guess they're going to capture that narrative like Celestia and Dimension and all that. Look, more hybrid Bitcoin DA with Celestia, Near, Eigenlayer, Filecoin, yada, 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 yada. So there you go. Right? That's data availability. Data availability. So let me see. These are DMT NATs. I'm missing a tweet in my little presentation here, but I wanted to talk about something called BRC 420s. That was the Merlin tweet. If I could find it, I think I deleted it. That's okay. But there is a standard called BRC 420. These are like metaverse ready tokens. Glitch candies. I didn't play with DMT NAT. I'm going to talk about them. I don't fully understand them. They seem kind of far out there for someone like me, but I did mint a JPEG, a DMT NAT token. It looks like an NFT. Yeah, let's go to the DMT NAT. So these are funky. So DMT stands for Digital Matter Theory, and it says DMT, not to be confused with the psychedelic drug. It's a digital matter theory that poses the possibility of creating digital substances by harnessing the patterns that naturally emerge from data. Here it's like where they kind of lose me. They consider it like a digital substance, like it can be manipulated with code or by interacting with other tokens. This sounds a little bit like those AI, what are they called? Damn it, now the words are leaving me. But long story short, this is just another way to harness on-chain data, right? Creating digital value, leveraging non-random patterns. And this is just like a quick background of what led up to these DMT NAT tokens. They're non-arbitrary tokens. And here we go. It says, unlike other tokens that may be created arbitrarily, NATs have specific non-arbitrary properties that are tied to the underlying technology. For someone like me, this is not making a whole lot of sense. I need to see it in practice, right? But every time a new token standard comes out, I'm trying like hell to understand it. I want to know what's it going to do for Bitcoin. Is it going to lead to some applications we don't see in DeFi? I hope so. But let's get to runes. That's what we were supposed to be talking about, right? Runes, are they going to disrupt all this? So hyped up, right? So hyped up. And let's get to that tweet. So something called a runestone, right? Leonidas NFT, he auctioned off this digital item. And this is one Satoshi. It's the largest inscription ever. Well, so far, I should say. Right? It's pushing the limits of that 4 megabyte capacity. It got auctioned off for, I believe, 8 BTC. So someone bought one Satoshi for 8 BTC. It's like $500,000. No, $5 million. It's a lot. So, this runestone is kind of symbolic because Leonidas is leading a project that's going to airdrop these tokens to about 120,000 wallets. It's a fair drop, really a nice fair drop. I'm getting it. Anyone who was inscribing, early on, like early to mid 2023, you may have qualified. You can check your wallet. Follow this account, and you can check your wallet. He's got a link here. I would only go to the official link, but you could check and see if your wallet qualifies. From what I understand, you don't have to do anything. It just gets airdropped to you like a real airdrop. So runes are a little crazy because they're almost like you have like a token that controls or can control the issuance of another token. Rune stones can dictate the issuance of runes. Runes could be like inflationary tokens on Bitcoin, like proof of stake, right? Like proof of stake. So think about that. One token kind of acts like the emission schedule, I guess, for a rune, and another fungible asset on Bitcoin with unique properties. And who dreamt this up? Well, none other than the guy who dreamt up the Ordinals protocol in the first place. And that's this guy right here. So I watched most of this. If you don't like Bitcoin or you like Bitcoin, you should watch this. Not only do you get insight into the different token standards, you get insight into the mind of someone who absolutely despises DeFi. Absolutely despises what has taken place with all these failed protocols, the rug pulls, the scams, the unfair token allocations to founders who end up screwing over their communities by dumping on them. He basically says, let's just admit all these tokens are for gambling and they're for fun. Let's just start with that honesty. And then let's have fun in a way that's fair for everybody. So he dreamt up these runes, and he prefers runes to BRC20 tokens, although in the Ordinals show that I caught the space, they make the case that BRC20s are a lot more useful than others make them out to be. It sounded good. But these runes sound like they could be used as pretty efficient project tokens, like ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. So runes are going to be like the Aave, the Uni, the Link tokens on Bitcoin. And they're interchangeable. They don't have unique identities. Instead of an account-based model, they work with a UTXO model, which is just a way of displaying like, I guess balances in the wallets is like a really simple way to think about it. And this is going to minimize the UTXO set. It's going to be a smaller footprint on the blockchain, I guess, for storage and for indexing and all that. Because a UTXO can hold, think of it as like a public key, like a wallet address, can hold any amount, any combination of runes in Bitcoin. And supply can also be burned. So this is a helpful YouTube video to just get your feet wet. So what's going to happen here? Well, we're about a year in, and I rattled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different tokens on Bitcoin. 10 different tokens, native assets on Bitcoin. Fungible, non-fungible, recursive, rare sats, atomicals, which are ARC20 tokens, BRC420, BRC404, BRC233, 100. All these different tokens, standards have exploded. Smart people are going to come in and build around those tokens first. It's interesting. And like I said, you get some insight from that YouTube video about how some of these Bitcoiners view founders of DeFi projects who end up just, projects going to zero. And their assumption is that, and they say this is pretty harsh, but they say, I don't know if these people are stupid or they're sociopaths, but they're not reinventing the world of finance. I'm like, well, fair enough, man. It's pretty unlikely that a 25-year-old who's never worked in finance is going to reinvent finance. But Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin people think that everything built so far is going to be built on Bitcoin and better and more transparent and more fair. That's what they think. So I would not take my eye off the ball here. I'm going to follow everything happening on Bitcoin. I'm going to get my rune stone drop. I'm going to buy runes. I didn't buy BRC 20s, but after hearing the space the other day, I don't think these later token standards are going to completely eliminate the utility of BRC 20s. It doesn't sound like that. It also sounds like BRC 20s can still develop themselves into some very useful tokens, account based, UTXO based. They have their pros and cons, and their place is what it sounds like. So now let's have fun. Let's go to meme coins on Solana. Let's go to meme coins. Meme coins are winning. They are winning the attention competition on social media, let's say. And how you guys doing in the chat? You still with me here or what? And meme coins seem to be just kind of front and center on Solana. Besides all the legitimate developments on Solana, we talked about token standards, different token styles, and features that enterprises, institutions, businesses can pick and choose in order to stay in compliance and leverage the Solana blockchain for their particular use case, whether it be, privacy, stable coins, whatever. Now we got meme coins. And I don't know anything about Solana meme coins, but I bought some yesterday, and I would rather not overthink this, but it's tough to fade like what's really happening in crypto because the windows might be short and we might never revisit this again. Or meme coins might just continue to grow because people are sick of getting ripped off and rugged and screwed in DeFi. I think this is a response to that. I don't know if you want to hear my opinion too much, but I think that meme coins are a response to this DeFi founders screwing everyone over. I mean, most projects, the project people, they pay themselves up front, and then whatever happens with their protocol. And before long, they usually end up moving on to another protocol. Oh, I'm still working over here, but now I'm paying attention over here. This is just not realistic. So people are like, well, I'd rather gamble knowing I'm gambling on meme coins. And then you have like this game of chicken where like, how long do I hold? Can I time a pump? Can I time a dip? If I time the dip, is it going to pump again? It's fun. I don't just say it's fun. It's nerve-wracking in a thrilling way, like gambling. Except you're clicking a button. You're not actually putting money on the gambling table. So this is one called IRS. It's memeable. I bought like a couple bucks worth. Someone told me about that. Then we got this one, Fembro. Look at this wonderful chart right here. This is like not even 4 days. And we've had, 50 shades of volatility here. This is Don Kryptonium's token that he launched. He has a great video out, by the way. I have to give him credit because he explores these other ecosystems way faster than I do. He's in Solana and Arbitrum like crazy. I'm in Bitcoin Cosmos like crazy. He's moving quick, but it's called Fembro. And look, the token double tops. This literally looks like the charts of all of our favorite tokens, right? Last bull market, there was that like double top because of the the China mining ban, then everything pumped again. And then there was like that 2 years of like, are we dead? Are we flatlining? And then now we're like here somewhere in the new bull market, right? And this is like almost like looking into the future maybe of altcoins, but like this looks like last bull market and then the most recent bear market, and this happened in like a day. The liquidity is low, the float is low. Not many people can do well with these tokens, but if you could do well, maybe it covers all your failed plays. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Dragon Man, I appreciate it. I work hard over here. I work hard to say stuff that means something one day. So memes are like everything right now, and I think it's because DeFi has been so disappointing across the board. Like you could get a list of 100 DeFi projects, and you could point to like 30 of them as complete scams, another 30 as abject failures, and then of the 40 that are left, a lot of them are just redundant and they're going to compete with each other at best. Got to be really careful with DeFi tokens. Now, I'm kind of worried about my own portfolio. And here's Don's video about how to make shitcoins. And you're not going to get the sound here, but oh, you might because my headphones are on. Hope that didn't mess up the sound, but so he made this token Fembro as a joke. He likes the meme. Well, the meme double topped and then hit all-time highs like 12 hours, 24 hours later. Yeah, look at Ambito. Ambito's charting. Let's go back to this chart. Look at that. Yeah, higher lows. This is a clear winner. Guys, do you know how risky this is? Look, I could draw the same lines as everyone else. Let's do the Elliott self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, it was not higher lows. It broke the trend. The trend is your friend until it's not. And then I got to say, like, oh, look, is this like a, oh, look, it's higher lows again. I don't know, Ambito. I think anyone charts a token that has less than like 50K liquidity and like less than 20 whales, 20 holders. Like, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing? But let's look at Don's token, and then I'll wrap this up with like a lesson. I had an epiphany about meme coins the other day when I was buying them, and I saw a tweet like the perfect time from our friend Patrick from Jackal. But in Don's video, he talks about this website called pump.fun, where you could launch your own meme coin. The sale goes through like a bonding curve, and then that liquidity is the initial liquidity on a DEX. It's like click, 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 and you have a meme, a meme token, and liquidity, and a community at the same time. And here we are in DeFi overcomplicating everything. You can do it here for nothing. Let's look at Patrick's tweet. So he says, every battle is won before it's fought, and mean teams move in silence. This is the reason why we haven't focused heavily on marketing in the past. When we do start accelerating marketing, we've already won. I agree and disagree with this premise, and I'll tell you why. I was going to write a tweet about marketing because I had like an epiphany related to meme coins. Everybody who's holding tokens complains that they're founders of their favorite tokens. They suck at marketing. They don't market enough. They market the wrong way. They spend too much money on marketing, all that stuff. Tell me in the chat if I'm on the right track, if this sounds like you. Where's the marketing, bro? Where's the marketing, Dow? Where's marketing? Oh, what about content and YouTube videos and whatever? Sponsor this, pay for this article. And I get it, man. I want my projects to outcompete others. And sometimes you have to do it with marketing because even with the best tech, it's not going to always win. And you want the price to go up. In other words, you want buyers. That's how it works, right? On an AMM, it's straight supply and demand. So Jackal is already pretty successful. It's in the right area of DePIN. It works. They're releasing a mobile app that's supposed to be absolute killer. Dark Side of the Podcast follows Jackal so closely. His channel is the best one to get insights to Jackal, although he did send me his last interview with Patrick so that I can cut it up into clips. I hope I have time to do it this weekend. St. Patrick's Day, I probably won't have time. I celebrate St. Patrick's Day hard. My whole life, I thought I was Irish, and I'm not. My grandfather got his DNA. I'm not Irish at all, but I celebrate it every year. So, long story short, I agree and disagree with Patrick. Maybe you don't want to market until you have something to market. Maybe you don't want to market until the market comes back and there are people. But literally, tell me in the chat, what's more annoying than having a token that you know is good, the protocol's good, team is good, but then nobody knows about it except you and like 50 people in the Telegram because there's no marketing? Sucks. Freaking sucks, man. If you market in the bear market, there might be nobody. You might not get reach. Nobody will care. But if you waited this long to market, you're competing with your competitors and you're competing with meme coins. Holy Christ, what a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Jackal is lucky because they already have a working product they could sell to clients and all that. But what if you just launched something like 6 months ago and you've done no marketing? Even if it's good, you could pay all the money you want for marketing. Your competitors might spend as much as you and be as effective as you with marketing. And you also compete against Dog with Hat, Mog, Fembro, all these meme coins, Newt. What a nightmare this is. What a nightmare. I mean, what's the best way? I don't know. Shade Protocol in December, they reached out. They wanted to sponsor some content creators. Great. I love Shade Protocol. I love the privacy narrative too. Kinetics, they reached out to me like 6 months ago. They got cracking kind of early. And that's an experienced team. They built a major DEX on Polygon before Kinetics. They got the marketing in there a little early. They didn't wait until meme coins were taking over freaking Twitter and the print media, the digital print media for crypto. How, if you're a founder and you waited till now to market, how much more is it going to cost you to get your message through? When websites like this exist that are better than your app that you took 2 years to build, and somebody looks like they built this in like 5 minutes, and so many people are using it. Like, what a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Marketing. A lot of content creators sat through the whole bear market barely making content. Maybe the bear market is the time to go all in on marketing, because then when the bull market comes, your project is still in their minds. People are still following your channels. And then the meme things are like kind of side entertainment. But I'm curious to see what you think in the chat about what's the right way to market. I would think the right way to market is to wait for when the people are here so you get more reach. But man, oh man, that might be a losing strategy for a lot of protocols, especially protocols that are forks or protocols that have inexperienced teams that aren't dedicated to like real, like data-driven marketing. You might be freaking screwed if you waited this long. Let's look at this website before we go. 5 steps. I get 12K liquidity for my meme token and pump.fun. Let's click. So I could search for tokens that are going through the initial liquidity, the bonding curve. Oh my God. Can I get this on the screen for you? There we go. Here we go. JEEG token, Jeffrey Edward Epstein token. Here's a Soviet Union. That's the Soviet Union flag, by the way, for millennials. That's what it looked like. Oh my God. Like, I don't get the memes. So like, Oh my God. Here's a Do Kwon one. So, and you could create these anonymously, it looks like. What is better than this if you just, oh my God, if you just want to have fun? But yeah, look at all this, man. Look at all this. There's so many tokens, and then they're on Dex Screener almost immediately. Some of them are on CoinGecko. So yeah, Patrick, Jackal is Jackal is my second biggest holding. I wanted exposure to DPIN, and I always liked storage. Decentralized storage was one of the first reasons I got into altcoins. But I feel like Jackal is lucky. Not lucky, but they have a product that is of interest in Web 2 and Web 3. So like their Web 2 clients are probably not following 50 meme token things on Twitter. Yeah, Ambito, look at all those gems. Yeah, Ambito, I guarantee you, when the dust settles after the market crashes again and we go through a bear market, we're going to be looking through our wallets and just laughing like, look at that. I still have $1 in this meme token. I paid 50 for it. Oh, look, I got 10 cents in this meme token. I paid 100 for that in the bull market. It's going to be like a graveyard. But what I hope is that legitimate projects that are really good. Ambito and I talk about Nolus all the time and DMEX exchange all the time. They do nothing but ship. Are they going to get drowned out by meme tokens and end up just like fizzling out or just taking much longer to achieve the adoption they could have achieved? I don't know. I don't know. I hope not. I want the best projects to win. I don't want the meme tokens to drown out the best projects. I don't know, but I'm going to end it there. I appreciate you guys hanging. We went through a lot, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. But all you need to know, Bitcoin all-time highs, tons of Bitcoin development from layer 2s to bridges to 10 different token standards already. Runes, they go live after the halvening or the day of the halvening. Meme tokens. But take it easy. Have a great one. Be careful trading those meme tokens. And yeah, I'll I'll see you next week.